Hello and welcome back. Jeez, what was that? Fulham 4, Manchester City 5. Goodness me. It started off almost perfect and then ended up Leeds Mark 2. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, if you're new, do subscribe and click the like button. That really helps with the algorithm and things of that nature. So, what was that? What happened there? But as Johan Cruyff once said, I'd rather win 5-4 than 1-0. Well, not sure I would on a regular basis anyway. But yes, we'll start with the team when the team sheet come out. I wasn't happy really. I thought there needed to be a few people dropped after poor performances versus Leeds, and I thought a few people needed resting as because of their workload. Some players couldn't have been rested, like Nico Gonzalez and maybe even O'Reilly, because would have had to come in. He doesn't look up to it at the moment. But I think Nunes could have dropped out for Kusanov. I thought Reinders could have dropped out for Cherki or Marmouche. And I thought Doku was going to get given a rest, given his workload and previous injury record whilst he's been here. But that wasn't to be. It was an unchanged team from the Leeds match, and I'll go through the players' performances and ratings a little bit later on. But despite me not being happy with the team, it all started pretty well, didn't it? I thought we were almost perfect. Reinders getting on the ball, Haaland having that great chance early doors, but then it then hit the post, didn't it? Which wasn't really that good enough. But I thought we were okay. Then 15 minutes, Smith Rowe had a shot, which Donnarumma saved. But then we settled down. So got 3-0 up pretty quickly after that. Great goal from Haaland, his 100th goal in 111 matches. I mean, that's the end of history, isn't it? Really, as far as football records go, I can't see anyone beating that at all. Never mind in my lifetime. Reinders, good to see him get back on the score sheet following what's been a pretty barren run of poor performances and poor finishing. But that was a well taken goal and really good play by Haaland to set him up. And then Phil makes it 3-0 and happy days, isn't it? What could possibly go wrong here? Things are looking good, and then they get one back just before half time. It's a great header, was some header. Keeper had no chance, and then it's all right, isn't it? Teams are allowed to score against you when you're 3-0 up. What can go wrong? As long as we keep it tight, we're bound to get at least one more, and then that'll be that. Also, we thought the second half starts within 10 minutes. It's 5-1. Right, lovely jubbly. What? Right, great. Here we go. Let's make some subs, get a bit of rotation going, and they'll be demoralised, and nothing's going to happen now for the next 30 minutes or so. Well, how wrong was I? Nico Gonzalez comes off, and everything goes to pot. I'm not sure it was just him coming off that did it. Stones come on, people get tired, but I just thought there was such a lack of running power in our team in the second half. The amount of times we shrugged off the ball due to lack of strength or lack of intensity. The amount of times wingers just brush off our wingers or our fullbacks. There's not a lot there in terms of strength, energy, and we were pretty lucky. And we were lucky, I don't know. Well, we were lucky we were playing Fulham and not anyone better, because their wingers were having a great little job, particularly down Nunes' side, and players were anonymous. They weren't doing anything like what they should have been doing or what they were doing well in the first half. I mean, yeah, Fulham scored some fantastic strikes, and I had this with someone on Blue Sky earlier today, because if you look at Fulham's XG, it's very low in comparison to the goals that they score. But I don't think it's their freak strikes. I think they're what most Premier League teams can do when defensive players don't bother closing them down or can't get out to them in time, if we're being generous. Because they've all got time, they've all got space. Like Iwobi shot, they've all got time, they've all got space. People going, well, close them down then, and then but no one did. They weren't under pressure when they're taking those shots, and they're all good players, and they all finished very, very well. And we were lucky to get out of dodge really with the 3 points, but 3 points is 3 points, isn't it? And we're 2 points behind Arsenal, so it's not all bad. Sorry. So it's going to run through the team and player performances because I've got quite a lot to say about quite a lot of the players, to be honest. Not necessarily my thoughts, but more challenging what other people have said around some performances. So if we start with Donnarumma, who's in net, I can't believe what I'm reading or what I've been hearing about his performance against Fulham. I heard things along the line, not even along the lines of directly, get Trafford in, his footwork would relieve the pressure. I mean, have a day off, will you? Come on. Claiming that, his punching was poor. I think he had one punch for their goal, and I thought that was decent enough. It almost got to the edge of the area. I'm more concerned about the people trying to close him down. I don't think he had any chance with their goals. He's not the one being brushed off while challenging the ball. He's not the one giving the ball away in midfield. He is the least of our worries. He's decent enough with his feet. He's decent enough on crosses. I think he's pretty good. Less a couple of errors, but everyone makes them. And he made some really good saves. That one from Smith Rowe in the first half in particular. So I'm just not having it, to be honest. I'm just not having it that this is some major problem we've got, that this goalkeeper is causing us a problem. He saved a penalty last Saturday, for Christ's sake. I mean, what more do you want him to do? People having pot shots at it from 12 yards with no one closing him down. What do you think is going to happen? They're likely to go in. His punch off the corner was fine, if you ask me. Then the players just need to get out of his way so you can see the shot coming in, or preferably close it down before the players can have a shot. I did mention that, Chikwuemeze, if that's how you pronounce it, in the video before the game, and he did look good. But yeah, I'm not having Donnarumma as a problem. No way. Not entertaining it. Not entertaining it. But he didn't get booked either, did it? So that's another big tick in the Donnarumma performance. But the ref was making a big meal out of that. It was time waste a little bit, but no big deal there. No bookings. He didn't give a clean sheet, but hardly his fault in this respect. So we'll move on to Núñez. I mean, oh God, where he wasn't standout bad, but you can see the areas where we lack. He's weak. He might be a bit tired, but the amount of times people brush him off, the amount of times they just skip past it, it's really, really worrying. And I suppose on the plus side, he didn't give a penalty away when Kevin got in front of him. I suppose that was a positive. Not the O'Reilly one, the other one. But in injury time, that half-assed, closed down tackle, what he did, ran towards a player, didn't stand off, didn't close down, players ran round him and created another good opportunity for Fulham. We need a professional right back, someone who knows the position, body position, how to sniff out danger. I'll accept he can stay as a reserve backup right back, but even then, I'd rather that be Kusanov, to be honest with you. I just don't think he's up to it, and I think Kusanov needs to play quickly. We have so many weak players in our team. Him being one, and I'll come on to a few more shortly, but he's not up to it. He's maybe all right in a team that everything's working really, really well. But no, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. He's an accident waiting to happen. He's an accident that has happened. And whilst he might not be overly responsible for the collapse yesterday. He doesn't help matters. I don't think he helps. Centre backs, Diaz, seen him get a lot of criticism over the last few hours. I thought he was fine. I mean, maybe a bit below his normal standards, but I don't think so. I think he was all right. You know, he's not great on the ball, is he? But he's all right. You know, he's shouting and screaming at people for not closing down, just like I was at my television. But no, again, you know, like Donnarumma, you know, what do you want him to do? You know, it's no one-man army, is it? What do you want him to do? I thought he was all right. You know, fine. Him and Guardiola, I thought did all right in very, very difficult circumstances. Guardiola, I mean, I wouldn't have played him because of the mistake against Leeds, and he looks tired to me. But what a few days he's had. Yeah, he give a penalty away. Like, oh no, you're in the doghouse. Jumps over Phil's shot, which went in, wouldn't have gone in otherwise, and then clears one off the line in the last minute away at Fulham to spare what would have been. I don't know what's worse than blushes, but Jesus, I mean, imagine how it goes in 5-1 up and drawing 5-5. You know, what's that about? I mean, thankfully he was there. Thankfully he was there because, you know, I'm trying to think of other results that were bad, you know, collapses. And Real Madrid, when we were away from home, and it was 1-0, and they got 2 in a minute. Well, they only got 2 in a minute, didn't they? They didn't get 5 in 1 half, or 4 in 1 half. United, when we're 2-0 up, and won the league anyway, and it was a scratch team, so some mitigation there. I don't accept that as mitigation, but that would be Pep's argument. So no, I think that would have been one of the worst results of the last 20 years. Even of itself, you know, even of itself. 5-1 up and drawing away at Fulham. Jesus. But he was there. Guardiola was there, and he saved the day. And I thought, otherwise, largely, I thought he played really well. Again, given the circumstances. But I think he needs I'm going to say some blue in the face. He needs a week off. And he'll get Wednesday or Saturday off now, so hopefully that'll help matters. Nico O'Reilly at left back. Again, you know, I wanted him to have a rest, but what's the option? Okay, forget it. You know, he's not. He can't play left back at the moment, or ain't Nori, and he looked miles off when we played Leverkusen. So he had to play. I like the guy. He's been played to death. He was cramping up at the end. He's only this time last year he wasn't in the team. You know, it's only since February, March that he's been in every week. You know, so his rise has been really, really good and sudden. But he needs a breather. He's one of the few strong players we have, so it is important that he does play. You know, no one gets much joy out of it. They don't brush him off the ball, do they? They don't take the ball off him. So he's good with strength, good technically. He got in the box a couple of times, and I thought he might have done a bit better, but we said that about our wingers. I'm not going to criticise a left back for it, but I'll come on to them in a bit. We went to midfield after Stones come on, when Stones wasn't really working in midfield, so they stuck Guardiola left back, Diaz, Stones, and then Nunes. But it's a bit late for putting him in midfield, isn't it? Because Nori goes to the AFCON, so then we've got a problem at left back, and Ake wants to go. He can't get any games, so O'Reilly's going to be left back, isn't it? So we're still going to be short in midfield. So they need to go in the market again. I mean, the amount of money they've spent on acquire in the last probably 2 years. You know, was it 3 years? Nunes, Phillips, Marmouche. You know, these players. Nunes isn't getting a look in his real position. Phillips isn't getting a look in at all. Marmouche has been binned off. And we spent money on a goalkeeper that's sitting on the bench as well, because we bought another one. So I'm not complaining about the keeper, but, you know, we've spent a lot of money. And whilst we're broadly happy with the squad, there's some massive holes in it. And Nico Gonzalez is I don't want to say fall guy. You could argue beneficiary that he's playing a lot, but he's playing all the time. And we bought him not back up to Rodri. We bought him when Rodri went down. But we bought him as an alternative to Rodri. But now he's getting the Rodri treatment, playing all the time. And then when we take him off, because we're 5-1 up, which I think is reasonable, for a manager to take a midfielder off at 5-1 and hope that the team doesn't go to pot. I mean, if you can't take him off in those circumstances, well, what circumstances can you take him off in? We're playing Fulham. We've got a 3 or 4 goal lead, whatever it happens to be. You've got to be able to take players off. But it all went to pot. No, I'm not sure if it's him that was holding it all together in the first half. I mean, I hope not, because if he goes down, then we've got a big problem, haven't we? But he is going to go down if we keep running him into the ground like that. And the same with Bernardo, same as last season. Yeah, he looks all right in a game, but he's getting on. He's got thousands of minutes, tens of thousands of minutes in his career, in his legs, years of playing at the highest level. And he's getting old now. He can't just play all the time. But then he does, and he does. And he's going to look faded and he's going to look jaded. He's always available. But I don't know what the alternative is. I don't know what the alternative is outside of Nico and Bernardo in midfield at this stage of the season. The idea we're going to train O'Reilly to play midfield or we're going to buy someone. And then it's, it takes him 6 months to settle. And then what? It's a problem. It's a big problem. But Bernardo, I thought he showed experience in the last 10 minutes or so, linking up with Cherky pretty well, winning those free kicks. Chris Sutton was saying on the commentary, Bernardo needs to be taken off. He's been run round all game. Now, you can say that statement, that's fine. But then you've got to follow it up with a solution. Everyone could, I can give you problems. You get big bucks for finding the solutions. So what's the solution? Comment below, because I haven't got any solutions. And I don't think Pep has either, to be honest with you. So we have got a big problem. Because whilst Reinders, good goal, good dummy for Haaland's goal, it was all very well when things are going well. But when things aren't going well, you don't see him. And he didn't get in midfield. He can't win the ball. He gets a ball taken off him. He's just weak. Another one, the wet. He's not an away from home central midfielder. So the idea of Nico and him in midfield, forget it. The idea of Bernardo and him in midfield, forget it. We saw it. We saw what happened away at Villa. It was a disaster. So I don't know where we go. But positives are he scored. He's almost set Doku up. Well, Doku was offside, but he looked nice and silky. Things are going his way. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, this is looking good. A bit of adversity. People start running past you. We can't run back to his own goal. Once people are past him, they're gone. So we're always outnumbered. We've always got people running at the defence at the moment with not much cover. Nico's again trying to do it all his own. Nico might not be any good at it for all I know. Maybe he is the problem. But if he's the problem, then we've got bigger problems, haven't we? But let's work on the basis that Nico's doing what he's supposed to be doing. And Bernardo and Reinders around it are the ones struggling. What do we do? What's Fernandinho up to these days? Well, where's he? Rodri injured again, or unavailable again. Now, I said in the last video, I wouldn't take him to Madrid, and I wouldn't. But then I think, well, he's got to play sometime. And I think we should just toss that game off, to be honest. Bet the house I'm beating Galatasaray and Bodo Glimt. Toss that game off. Put some reserve team out. Just get an hour in his legs and take it from there. I know the fans don't want to hear it. And I don't really like saying it either, to be honest. But from a squad numbers perspective, rest and fitness, we need to do something. And the Premier League, we can't afford to take any chance at the moment because we took the chance yesterday at 5-1 up, and look what happened there. So let's not take any chance in the Premier League at the moment. The only open game or games is Brentford in the League Cup, But I quite fancy us the League Cup this year and Champions League, where we've got opportunities to make up for the lost points. So just toss that one off. I think give Nico a rest, get Rodri some minutes, get beat, because the energy he's going to take to beat Real Madrid, and we'll probably lose anyway. You know, is it worth risking the health of Nico Gonzalez, Nico O'Reilly, Foden, Haaland, etc.? It probably isn't, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. We'll see where we are this time next week before that. So yeah, Reinders is a home bird, isn't it? Home player. I think when things are going well, when things aren't going well, he's just don't see him, and that needs to improve quickly, because I'm just repeating myself. Yeah, we need opposite midfield, don't we? We need opposite midfield, and at the moment he isn't one because he's not strong enough, quick enough, aware enough, or maybe not even good enough. Phil, what's more to say about him? I mean, very, very positive. Slight negative that he didn't close down. It worried me for that one, but overall, I mean, his performances since coming back against United have been superb by and large, and he's now adding those goals. He was always getting goals in the old days, last season and beyond. This season, his role seems to change a bit more, but now, whilst doing that changed role, he's also scoring goals, which, you know, is very, very important to the team, but also to him, really, because I think he's one of our few that we can rely on to score regularly. So it's good to see him back doing that. I mean, his goal, yeah, you know, he had a bit of space to do it, but he had a lot of Fulham players running towards him, a couple of great touches, and perhaps a great keeper. So yeah, I thought he was excellent, and I just hope he can stay fit. Hope he stay fit, and again, he's going to play every game all the time until he gets injured, and then play all the time until he gets injured again, which is not ideal. But we need to find some points to rest him, because again, if he goes down, what have we got? Particularly in the African nations period when Mamouche isn't here, but he's not that he's going to look in anyway. But we'll come on to him shortly. Jezza, Doku, score? Did he score? Yeah, I think that should count as his goal. It was hit and miss, wasn't it? You know, good assist for Haaland's first, decent, well taken goal. Oh, he's going wide, wasn't it? But you know what I mean. It was a good shot. He went in. What was that? Good goal. You know, he took a chance, and he went in. So good on him. Works hard. No one shoves him off the ball. I thought he was very unlucky in the first half to get pulled up for that foul when he'd essentially been one-on-one with a goalkeeper from the halfway line. I thought he's pretty unlucky because their player tried to get in his way, and he trips him up. Well, that's only because their player tried to block him in the first place. So yeah, Doku hit and miss. He come off, and again went to pot shortly after, didn't it? But I think, yeah, by and large, he had a decent enough game, and yeah, I'm sure he'll play next week. Well, then we got Haaland. But there's one slight negative. Should have had a hat-trick, shouldn't he? I mean, you should have done, shouldn't he? I mean, the first half hit the post, second half hit the post, was scored in the middle. But, you know, 100 goals in 111 games. He mentioned 18 assists as well. Might be 19 now after the one he did for Foden. Yeah, Foden got two, didn't he? Yeah. So that's 118 goal contributions in 111 games. There isn't a lot else to say, really. But I thought he was excellent. Apart from his misses, you know, he had a good game with that Bassi, didn't he? Roughing him up. Yeah, he had a bit of to and throwing. I was worried when he went down injured, and I thought, we're gonna have a problem here. But he didn't. He got up and he carried on. I did think that had a couple of weeks out written all over it. But no, great goal scorer, great footballer, and again, all these people on TalkSport falling over themselves. Oh, he's not going to break Shearer's record because he's off to Real Madrid. Right, on what basis? Yeah, but he's got 7 years left on his contract. Let's say he goes in 2 years with you, when Pep does. Right, he's got 5 years left of his contract. Right. All right. Are they going to cough up 200 million quid, are they? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't know. But they never finished the way to get him out. Oh, he'll be off to Madrid. How? How? How is anyone going to get someone out of a multi-year contract from a reluctant seller? I don't know. I don't know, maybe some Real Madrid fans could tell me if they've got a load of about 300 million quid stuffed down the sofa or not. But no, overall good game for him, another good goal. But again, he has to play the whole game. 5-1 up. Can we not stick Marmou's shot for a bit? You know, and just give Haaland a rest. Again, he's going to play every game until he gets injured. And then we've got a problem. And then he'll play every game until he gets injured again. So this lack of rotation is a problem. But I suppose we did try a bit of rotation, didn't we? We brought Stones on. It didn't really help, did it, from a control perspective? And why? He's not a midfield player. I don't know why we put him there. Years ago, we played Crystal Palace at home. We played him in midfield. We got beat. Villa, that was years ago. It was 7 years ago or something. And all the way to Villa away last season. He got run over. Going from midfield, going for defence into midfield is one thing. Starting in centre midfield away from home, so your starting position being centre midfield away from home is something else altogether. So I'm not having him as a midfield player. I know we're in the shit on that front, but we need to sort something out because it's not him. The answer's not him. Has it ever worked, him starting in midfield or coming on? Maybe in the last minute or so to head something away, but you know what I'm talking about. A material amount of minutes. Has it ever worked? I don't think it has, ever. I'm sure. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't, but I don't think it did. And Pep didn't think he did either. That's why he stuck him back at centre half, but O'Reilly midfield. I'm not sure that was a good idea. You know, he's cramping up, and you go, right now, Nico, get in midfield. I mean, it just seems a bit odd. You know, the money we've spent over the years, and we haven't got an answer. And we haven't. I mean, yeah, we've got Kovacic injured, but he was injured going into the summer. Let Gundogan walk out the door, KDB walk out the door. Fine with that, didn't have a problem. And we brought in Reinders, who I think we found out pretty quickly he's not a centre midfield player in this division. Certainly not away from home. Certainly not against teams that run, which is a problem, a big problem. You know, Matt, Reinders, Sunderland away New Year's Day night. You know, oh no, absolutely not. So yeah, Stones did all right when he came on, but didn't really make much of an impact. Cherky, I like him. I liked him, should I say? You know, I want to see more of him though. What's it was all about? Because that looked really good when he come on. One of the few, him, O'Reilly, and maybe Guardiola, who had any sort of composure, Bernardo Silva, any sort of composure on the ball in the last 10, 15 minutes. Almost set up Guardiola with that fantastic pass. Guardiola then he tried to square it, didn't he? Then his right foot, he tried to square it rather than knock it around the keeper. I don't know. He's pretty poor, but you know, if it's on the other side, I'm sure he'd smash with his left foot. But you try to set up Haaland, it was defended the way. These things happen. But no, I liked him. But again, if you could do that from the start, thank you very much. And it's Sunderland at home on Saturday, so I'd like to see him start that game. And I'll come up to I'll do a team video for that on Friday. But yeah, I want to see him in. I want to see him in the team and see what he's all about because his chance creation is very, very good, isn't it? Clearly, he's good on the ball, and yeah, let's see what he's all about. He's been here a few months now. It looks like he's back from injury, so let's see what he's all about. And the other sub, I know. Has anyone told Pep we can use 5 subs? We don't need to use 3. But then again, I don't know what else would have brought on. Well, could have brought Marmoush, but I'll come on to him in a minute. Savio. Here we go again. Right, positives. Crossed it, Haaland, good cross, Haaland at post. He should have 1 assist. Right, I think we can accept that. Right, okay, tick, well done. That is a 10-second action from for what, half an hour's play. Guy's an empty head. An empty head. People come lazy. Well, lots of call people lazy, but he just come on. Foden was in the middle of the pitch, knocked it out to the left. Savio, let it just roll out. Oh, just sort of float out. I'm sure he could have got to that if he'd have tried, stuck his leg out somewhere. Foden did his nut. Foden's obviously got a better view than I have. And he's convinced that he could have got it. But then, okay, maybe that one was over hit. Maybe that's Phil Foden just, been disappointed with himself. But the same thing happened again. I think Vardy knocked it out to him. And listen, I don't know if sticking your leg out is worthwhile or not. It looked like it could have been. But it looks like you're trying, doesn't it? To make an effort. And it just wound me up. He's watching the ball go out of play. Well, we're in the shit here, and we need someone to try to keep the ball in play and keep it. Well, no, he just lets it float out of play. And then as for the counter attacks, I mean, God, the one right at the end when he ran into their central defenders, I lost the plot, and he pretended he was fouled. Get up. And then, also prior to that, he had the counter attack, perfect opportunity to play Haaland through, and too many touches, too much fanning about, and didn't do that either. And the amount of times he shrugged off the ball, he loses the ball, he doesn't win it. The word duels again. I don't like the word, but I can't think of anything else. He just loses out all the time. And if you see Pep talking to him after the game, he doesn't look happy. But, well, I don't play him then. Play someone else. I don't know. Play someone else. Got Marmouche there. I'll come on to him shortly. But people talking about Savio leaving in January, I think it's fantasy. Absolutely fantasy. I mean, what? The person who gave him a new contract is not going to want to be proven wrong so soon after giving him a new contract, right? So he's going to take some offer to come in. Whatever the offer was in the summer is almost certainly not going to be on the table in January for a variety of reasons. One, clubs don't like to spend that much. And two, has he improved in the last 5 months? No. Does he look any better? No. Is he someone you would want to buy? If you're a team in trouble, let's face it, he's not going to Real Madrid or Barcelona, is he, or Bayern Munich? If you're Tottenham were booing the goalkeeper at the weekend. They'd be invading the pitch after 3 weeks of watching him. They'd be that unhappy. So no, I'm not seeing him going to Tottenham. Forget it. They're going to dish out 60, 50, 60. No chance. In addition to that, he's just signed a new contract. He's not going anywhere if he doesn't want to go. So what are we going to do? Oh, we'll have Semenyo or Bournemouth. Do you fancy taking Savio on loan? Forget it. We're lumbered. So we either get his agent and try to proactively do a deal, which I'm not quite sure why they'd want at this stage. He's not in the Brazil team anyway, I don't believe. And he's just signed a new deal. His feet up. Not going anywhere. So doubled his wages, now have his value. Oh my God. Yeah. So I don't know. I know I don't like going in on young players, but fucking hell, mate. Come on. Try. Look like you're willing. And it just looks really, really bad for him. From a fan perspective, if he comes on against Sunderland or starts, you can see it getting a bit ropey because, we've all watched City have bad players, right? Some players are bad. That's just how it is. Or they're bad, it doesn't work out, whatever it happens to be. But we don't often have players like him who wave their arms round, act like the big man, and do fuck all. Do it. Really. Like Anthony. No one liked him, did they? He doesn't look likeable. And oh no, I don't like saying this about City players, but put your fucking face straight, get your ass in gear, run around a bit. Because you can't score. It's going on to a year since his last Premier League goal. A year for a winger at Manchester City. A fucking year. What are we on about? Fucking year for his last league goal. He's only got one this year, hasn't he? This is Huddersfield. Division A. So in short, I don't think he had the impact the manager was hoping for, which is unfortunate. But there is one alternative to this, and this is Marmoush. He's off to AFCON. We're going to miss him for whatever it is, 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever it is, depending how well his team do. So you might as well play him while you've got him, because I'm telling you now, get to the depths, middle of winter. We'll have injuries, bound to have suspensions, and a couple of players away at AFCON. And Pep will be moaning about, oh, the squad's too thin. We've got people at AFCON. We've got people injured. Overload of games. Well, you've got Nori Marmoush there, who you're not even touching. Now, Marmoush pulled us out of the shit last year, so I don't know what he could do. I had it again on Blue Sky. Someone said maybe Pep's not happy with him because he's got a sad face in training. Well, get happy with him, I'm afraid. He's a £70 million player on 200 grand a week. The market for him is zero. There is no market for him to sell him at this stage. No one. There's a handful of teams who could afford that sort of transfer fee. We're one of them. United are another, not going there. Bayern Munich are another, they don't need it. Real Madrid, Barcelona, and, Chelsea and Arsenal. Liverpool, not going there either. So forget selling him. Unless we've done our dough and we just want to loan him out. Which, it's madness. Madness, I'm even saying that out loud. Get him on the pitch. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know. He can run, he can shoot. Yeah, he's offside a few times. Yeah, he missed a chance against Leeds, but wouldn't you? Being ropey, aren't you? Ropey. You're not playing enough. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. But right, goodness me. Right, so we'll leave it there. We won, which is the main thing. We're 2 points behind Arsenal. The pressure's on them. Lots of positives to take from yesterday's game. I thought we were excellent in the first half. Play like that against most teams, but bury them like we did Fulham. When this Leeds Fulham collapse, whatever that is, or however that has been organised or disorganised by the team, needs to be sorted quickly. So thank you for joining. If you have any comments, please leave them below. If you want to come on, put a comment below and we'll have a chat. Your reminder about the stocking fillers there. Don Price and Sean Riley's wrote a couple of books, co-authored some books. It's a collation of fan stories, so please check them out on Amazon. And yeah, if you got this far, I appreciate it. We have won, so this did take a negative tone. I think there's just cause for some negativity, but we had some great performances. Haaland's got 100 goals in 111 games. Foden's got another couple of goals. Doku's form is pretty good. Keepers did stand a chance at any of the goals. So yeah, and the City fans were mint yesterday. You could hear them on the telly. It was top. So yeah, thank you for getting this far. If you have, please like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Onwards and upwards, and I'll see you on Friday for a preview of the Sunderland game. Take care.